Hello, Gethsemane. Pastor June asked me and Morgan Walker, our LIC student, to share with you some reflections on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this Holy Week. So you'll be hearing from me today and tomorrow. And I think I'm just going to share some Psalms with you from the lectionary for this week. I like the Psalms because they don't make any claims to history. So as a scholar in training for ancient texts, I don't have to deal with questions like, did this event or that event really happen? When did this person live? What are the exact dates of their lifetime? The Psalms are a welcome break from that sort of thinking because they're poetry for people of all times and places who struggle through life, who use the beauty of carefully crafted language to deal with questions about life that are often unanswerable. And for people who live in dark and uncertain times, the Psalms provide emotive language to both express frustration, vent about fears, and and denounce their enemies in ways that are often shocking, but to also find hope, and to find hope in what, for the psalmist, is the ultimate source of hope, which is God and God's steadfast love. So today I'm going to read from Psalm 36, verses 5 through 11. And as I read, I want you to just think of what sorts of imagery you're hearing, and if anything comes to mind as I read these words. Your steadfast love, O Lord, extends to the heavens, your faithfulness to the clouds. Your righteousness is like the mighty mountains, your judgments are like the great deep. And you save humans and animals alike, O Lord. How precious is your steadfast love, O God. All people may take refuge in the shadow of your wings. They feast on the abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light. O continue your steadfast love to those who know you, and your salvation to the upright of heart. Do not let the foot of the arrogant tread on me, or the hand of the wicked drive me away. So what sorts of things came to mind as you heard, I should say? When I hear the imagery about God's love extending to the heavens, and I hear about the mighty mountains, the judgments of the great deep, and humans and animals alike, I think of creation. I think of Genesis 1. I think of certain parts of Job that recall the creation. In the psalm where it talks about, later in the psalm where it talks about feasting on the abundance of God's house, and having drink from the river of God's delights, I think about Psalm 23. You prepare a table for me. You lead me in green pastures, beside still waters. And then when I hear, in your light we see light, I think about the imagery from the book of John in the beginning, where what was created through God's eternal word was life, and that life was the light of all peoples. And the light shone in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. So this psalm brings to mind all of those images that stretch back to creation and into our own time. And so I think about as Holy Week, this Holy Week is going to be like no other Holy Week. What I'll miss, I think about the things that I'll miss, not being able to be together with people. I'm going to miss the foot washing. I know that's uncomfortable for some of you, but I enjoy doing it. I'm going to miss watching the Seaberts and the Normans clear the stage for the stripping of the altar. I'm going to miss the fire outside for Easter Vigil and going downstairs and having Dr. Tim lead us in song by candlelight in what I contend is the only song where we ever thank God for the bees which create the wax that lights our candles. It's a great song. I'll miss Joyce Geary doing a skit. I'll miss Carol Wilkins doing her one reading that she does every year. She does it magnificently. I'll miss when the lights come on in the sanctuary and we sing, Alleluia, Jesus is risen. But we have to come up with new ways to remind ourselves that God's steadfast love and God's presence and the things that God offers to us through gathered community and through those special times in the church year, that those things are still available to us. And I think that's what this psalm reminds us, that God's steadfast love is exactly that, steadfast, enduringly present, always with us. So whether in joy or sorrow, or anger or depression, or whether in peace, whether in times of great questioning, times of when we feel like we may be lonely, God's love is still there. And the Psalms give us the language to express that. And even if we doubt it, the Psalms give us the language to rediscover or remind us that God's love is always with us, that it will continue with us as it has from the beginning and until forever. So, how did this psalm end? Oh, continue your steadfast love to your children at Gethsemane Lutheran Church. May God be with all of you throughout this week. I'll see you tomorrow.